People deluded, I'm back again as usual. To my regular supporters, one love for tuning in. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're smashing the likes, guys, and as usual, make sure the creative juices are flowing. I want to know your comments on everything we cover. Allegedly, Zubimendi has turned down an Arsenal move. There's some updates of sorts where Sesko and Fofana are concerned, and allegedly Mikel Arteta wants 20 players or a squad of 20. As you know, he's previously said during last season we've got one of the smallest squads, and me personally, I'd like to know your thoughts. I believe, again, Mikel Arteta has assembled this squad. I say the word trust lightly. Of course, he trusts all his players. But when you look at the minutes played, whether you're starting games or not, that's where the players are trusted. Now, I believe there is 13 players max, maybe at a push 14. Really, I only think 12. Typically, if Trossard's on the bench and whoever is in the starting 11 people, when push comes to shove, that's not big enough to compete on all fronts, especially when the games are coming thick and fast. So, yeah, people. And obviously, there's an update or some ongoing news where Mikel Arteta and a new contract is concerned. So, without further rambling, allow me to share my screen. Now, check out the video I did yesterday. We all know Mikel Arteta is in talks to sign a new contract and is in line to get a huge pay rise of up to 9 million per year, and he currently has 12 months left on his deal. I've covered this, so please go and check out the videos that I've previously posted and make sure your notification bells are on. Unfortunately, the Times have put this behind a paywall, but it is said today Mikel Arteta is set for new contract as Arsenal plans squad refresh. Aaron Ramsdale and Tierney could be among those available for sale in the summer as the club target younger players, with RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko on the radar. I'm a big fan of Sesko. I don't think that's anything new because we know we're trying to commit Mikel Arteta to sign a new long-term deal. Aaron Ramsdale's been displaced by David Raya. Kieran Tierney's been on loan at Sociedad, and unfortunately with the squad development, it doesn't appear that he has a space here really and truly. So I don't think we learned anything there. Now, big up all the ITKs and Twitter accounts that have posted talking points and segments from that actual article behind the paywall. Mikel Arteta said he wants to know what financial resources will be available to him, as he would like a squad of 20 outfield players in addition to goalkeepers. He wants to add a defender, a central midfielder, a forward, and cover on the right wing for Saka. That's music to my ears. We need to sign a new midfielder. Been very passionate on finding that long-term partner for Declan Rice and that long-term trio with the new centre mid, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Then it's about having a squad. I think I speak for everyone where another wide man wouldn't go amiss, another striker, and we probably do need a defensive body as well as maybe an outfield goalie to cope with the departure of Aaron Ramsdale. A squad of 20 is music to my ears. Who will be in that squad? I don't know, because half of our players are linked with moves away. Obviously, El Nene and Cedric are gone. Tierney's days are numbered. Lokonga's days are numbered. Tavares should be gone by the time this video is finished. And there's people of that ilk that probably need to go. Then you've got the, in theory, the Jesuses, the Smith Rowes, the Zinchenko's, Thomas Partey, players of that ilk that I don't think will actively be pushed out the door. Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, players that won't actively be forced out the door. But I do think the club would welcome offers and would seriously consider things. With us qualifying for the second year of Champions League football, with us having a quote-unquote exciting project, really and truly all the summer signings have worked out, and in the last 2 summers in particular, all the signings have been a success. Say what you want about Zinchenko, it ain't been a bad signing. Gabriel Jesus hasn't. Declan Rice has been a revelation. Raya has brought something to the table. Timber's been injured, but you see what he brings to the table. Nobody cares about Kai Havertz's 65 million fee now because he's doing the business. So I think with that and what we're doing, I don't think Arteta should have anything to worry about funds being injected. Of course, we might need, we got to balance the books. Some signings might be reliant on players leaving, and half of the players that we think might go, there might be a spanners in the works. Half the players that we think we might get, spanners might get in the works. So there's a lot of moving parts, but that's music to my ears personally. Once again, Benjamin Sesko is on the radar. We're targeting younger players. We'd like a squad of around 20. We're looking at a forward slash cover for Bukayo Saka, a central midfielder as well as a defender, people. Arteta wanted to concentrate on trying to win the Premier League at the end of the season, so there was no time for talks with Edu before they both went on holiday at the end of last week. They're likely to be back in London towards the end of June. So again, tying Mikel Arteta down to a new deal, moving players on, ultimately bringing people in and getting to grips with pre-season. So we're ready for the 2024-25 season. In the next few weeks, we're going to be aggressive in that regards, people. There's also been some rumours that Gabriel Jesus and Benjamin White are set for minor surgery during the off-season. But again, haven't seen it for more, what's the word I'm looking for here, people? This is the thing about recording, like more reputable sources with the greatest of respect, I guess I'm looking for. Romano has said Arsenal prepared to enter into advanced conversations with Mikel Arteta and his reps to extend his contract. Arsenal want Arteta to be one of the best paid managers in Europe and to give him new power with the new contract. What does that new power word mean? Because we know it's a collaborative piece. We know he's a manager and not a head coach like Emre. But what power? Because he's any sort of player power battle he's won with the Ozils and the Bamians. He kept Granit Xhaka. You know, I'm sure not everybody was convinced on signing Kai Havertz or necessarily signing David Raya because we had Ramsdale. He got that. What new power could there be? I mean, it'd be interesting to see what that means. What new power? Because it seems, I can't say he's got full control because it's a collaborative piece. Long gone are the days of the Sir Alex Fergusons, the Arsene Wengers. Dare I say, the closest you get to that is probably Pep Guardiola. But what new powers potentially could there be? Because probably as hands-on as they can where transfers are concerned. I don't know, but I'd love to find out. Let me know what you lot interpret that as. Arsenal didn't want to discuss it during the season. They were waiting for the end of the Premier League, but in private conversations, they've always made it clear that they want to extend his contract. Despite links with Barcelona, he was never a candidate for the job because he's super happy at Arsenal, convinced by the project, 100% involved in planning for the future. And also Edu and all the directors are happy with Arteta. And there's unfinished business, really. You know, Arteta, whether he wins trophies, hopefully at Arsenal or not, at 42 years of age, you know, bearing in mind he's been here for 4 or 5 years, he jumped in at the deep end at a turbulent time. He's kind of steadied the ship, and this, you know, while we haven't reached the promised land like Moses in the Bible, it's a lot. We've got a lot better problems. You know, we're battering teams 3-4-0 and we're upset. That's a long way away from back-to-back 8th. Mustafi, Hector Bellerin, these kind of players, people. So it is what it is. If Arteta became available, I'm not saying he's the biggest and baddest manager, but what he's doing at Arsenal so far, what he's done at Arsenal, you know, his trajectory, he would be on a shortlist for a number of clubs, you know, and there's a lot of managerial jobs that are available. So I don't think we should back anybody religiously, but I think Mikel Arteta is the man for me until I see anything otherwise. So yeah, man, I don't think there's anything new in that regards, people. Once again, you know, we're hoping to recoup money where sales are concerned. So Aaron Ramsdale, Lokonga, Tavares, Tierney, Zinchenko, Kirill, who I don't think will, another one that I don't think will force out, but if certain offers come, are possibly on the list. Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson and Smith Rowe could also depart the club, people. And in relation to PSR, profit and sustainability, they would go down as 100% profit, people. So we'll have to see, people. Arsenal want to recoup a significant sum after spending a net of 460 million over the past 4 seasons. I mean, we're going to have to get better at selling players, isn't it? Realistically, specifically Mr. Edu and co, really. Arsenal may also be monitoring clubs with financial considerations, as Aston Villa are one of those, with the Gunners long-term admirers of Douglas Luiz. I mean, we've heard this kind of similar rhetoric with Bruno Guimaraes. You know, I'm sure there's a bit of creative accounting. I'm sure both teams, there's what Newcastle and Aston Villa would want to move certain players on before they get rid of their star men. But we have had an interest in Luiz. Once again, Bruno Guimaraes and Sesko rumours won't go away. Neither will Thomas Partey. This says any moves for Guimaraes and Luiz could depend on Partey leaving the club. Personally, I think that's unacceptable. We need a central midfielder regardless. Speaking of people needing to sell players and central midfielders, Everton are looking to find a buyer for Onana this summer as they need to raise money and they prefer not to lose Pickford or Braithwaite. Pickford still linked with Chelsea. Braithwaite's being linked with Manchester United, and he was probably one of the best performing young English defenders, in my opinion. Braithwaite's a quality player. You know, they bought him from Carlisle, done well at PSV, done well generally on loan at Everton. Well, on loan at PSV and done well last season. That's just gone at Everton. Would love him at the club, really. Think he'd be a good player for us. Arsenal, apparently, big up George Bird. Arsenal will launch a new academy development centre in Northern Ireland this year, which will be based in Belfast. Obviously, that could help us get players over, increases our knowledge, and it increases our foothold in recruiting in them kind of regions there. You have seen rumours of us, you know, kind of aggressively going to Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, Scotland. I don't care where. And, you know, football's universal. Find players everywhere, really and truly. And that's the beautiful thing of it. You know, wouldn't know where to begin where maths is concerned, but Martinelli, how much miles away is that from North London? Saka's from West London, realistically, right on the doorstep. Football is universal, so bring the players. If we're searching everywhere, we'd do all right, man. And our academy could be a source of income for us. Of course, you want to see people like, you know, do what Eddie, Nelson, Smith Rowe, Saka are doing on various different successes in the first team. Equally, if you could, you know, Iwobi, Joe Willock, these kind of players that are sold for a decent, Balogun for a decent amount, that is great. And it's completely random, people, but I was looking into football's a funny old game because we released Eze, England international now. Nathan Teller's won the Bundesliga after not making it here. It's funny how football works, not just for Arsenal, but several other clubs. Arsenal apparently have been, dealt a blow where Zubimendi is concerned. HITC understands that Arsenal are ready to move on from top midfield target Zubimendi. Arsenal are set to be in for an important summer transfer window, and a new midfielder is understood to be high on the list of priorities for Mikel Arteta. Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi is understood to be Arteta's clear first choice for a signing in the middle of the park, and the Gunners believe he would be a perfect fit for the North London club. However, in recent weeks, a deal to take the Spanish midfielder has stalled, with Arsenal becoming increasingly frustrated over the lack of progress on the transfer of the 26-year-old. So does he want to stay at Sociedad? Has he got other interests? Either way, as much as I think Zubimendi would be brilliant for us, and we might look at him at another club and think, what if? It's hardly like you're getting a prime Luka Modric, Tony Kroos, people of that ilk, if I'm honest. Good player, not them man's level. Move on and find someone else, as much as I would like it. Apparently, we're frustrated and have a sense of frustration on Zubimendi. Sources have told HITC that Arsenal, if required, would be ready to pay his 60 million in brackets 51 million pounds release clause, but as yet the player has not accepted the overturns from England. Now, the last couple of years we've been linked with Zubimendi. We have heard that. So is it time to move on? I don't know. As the deal is dragged on, the Gunners have become more and more frustrated, and they've informed the players' camp that they are ready to move on from the Spaniard if he does not accept their advances. So are they trying to strong-arm Zubimendi to get a decision? Because I'm sure he must be considering staying at Sociedad. He's been linked with Leverkusen, been linked with Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester United, actually Manchester City. There's a lot to consider, and obviously I'd imagine he goes off to represent Spain in some degree for the Euros. Does he want to focus on that? There could be a lot of gamesmanship. Who knows? But his current manager says he will remain at the club next season. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Martin Zubimendi wants to stay here, and for sure he'll stay with us at Sociedad next season. I have no doubts he's staying with us. So another one bites the dust. There's a belief from those at the Emirates that the player's not yet accepted the overturns from the English side, because Zubimendi has his heart set on a move to Barcelona or Real Madrid. If that is the case, then Arsenal are prepared to move on for different targets. The Gunners have already done their due diligence on other targets, and these include midfielder João Neves from Benfica, who's going to cost a significant more amount than Zubimendi. Onana, who we're forever linked with, going back to his time in France. Bruno Gomes and Douglas Luiz links have never really gone away, especially Douglas Luiz. So we'll have to see. Apparently, Arsenal will prevent Saliba from playing at the Paris Olympics now, probably because we need him for next season. He's played every minute of the last season in the Premier League. That's gone, and probably would have played every minute of the season before that. Will probably represent, and when I say represent, I mean being in the squad for France during the Euros. I understand Arsenal's position, but it is a bit harsh just generally, because I know footballers, we know they're athletes, but when you look at the Olympics, you don't really count footballers as that. But as an athlete representing at the Olympics, that's one of the highest honors you could get. So I'd be a bit conflicted. But yeah, man, Thierry Henry, I think, is the under-23s coach. Apparently, Mbappe won't be part of that as well, because Real Madrid, if rumors are to be believed, say he's got summer commitments. So yeah, Saliba it'll be Euros and done. Lautaro Martinez has been linked with Arsenal again. Personally, I don't buy into these rumors. I think there is an admiration. I think there was once a willingness to potentially sign the Argentine, but I think we've moved on, and he's in talks and has been in talks for a while with Inter Milan about signing a new deal, allegedly. Now, as those links drag on, obviously the rumors are going to start to keep going on. Inter are yet to agree terms over a new deal, people. Apparently, his entourage has made it clear they want 12 million euros per season as part of the new deal for the first season, 14 million euros per season in the second season, and 16 million in the second season as well, people. So yeah, maybe they don't want that. Apparently, now the potential figure for Martinez is quite similar to the 110 million release clause that existed in his deal last summer, but it was then removed. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to watch that one closely. I must admit, I don't rate him as highly as I used to, but it is what it is. Fofana, who is apparently available for 20 million euros, has a year left on his contract. Shame that he's leaving Monaco if you're a Monaco fan, because you just got Champions League football. Their chairman has said he could go. Apparently, Arsenal face competition to sign the Monaco midfielder. The 25-year-old, as said, has 1 year on his current deal, people. There are no talks about a renewal, and the CEO revealed earlier this month the door is open for a departure, and he said he's probably one of the players we are open to selling. We will see the opportunities that he has. So yeah, people, he rejected last summer offers from Nottingham Forest, West Ham and Fulham. obviously. Arsenal, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, and Paris Saint-Germain all allegedly are interested, people. All clubs apparently have held talks with Fofana's entourage, although neither have engaged in concrete discussions. It's not expected that Fofana's future will be resolved before the end of the Euros. However, whoever signs the Frenchman will have to contend with competition. I mean, good players. It's like good gal. There's always going to be competition. Romano has said, people, his exit in the summer window is almost guaranteed, as he's not even negotiating a new deal at AS Monaco. I guess in theory he could run down his deal, but you never know. There's interest from England and Italy, and not only one to watch in the upcoming weeks. So we'll have to see how that goes. Cedric Suarez, I mean, you know, big him up. Not that anyone cares. I'm going to analyze. I'll realize where the best solution is for me to continue on my path. Right now, I'm very focused on my career. I want to keep playing for a few more years. I feel pretty good. I'm 32, so my aim is now to find the right team where I can continue to take the right steps and where I can be competitive. Big you up. Wish you all the best, people. Where he's concerned, PSG, Arsenal, and Manchester City are still battling allegedly for Bruno Gomes. So where the transfer rumors are concerned, that's all there is from me for this video. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Check out the rest of the videos. I'm sure you've seen hyperlinks floating. Turn on your notification bells. Leave a comment after. And most importantly, people, stay blessed, stay safe. We'll link up again soon. Peace.
Always